Russia is supposed to have the best hackers in the world. Hi, I hope you're well. My name is Christoph and this is my analysis. Did you hear? In March 2022, some satellite modems got fried by a cyber attack by you know who. Must have smelled awful.
Nous avons eu un réseau satellitaire qui couvre notamment l'Europe et notamment l'Ukraine, qui a été victime d'une attaque cyber et donc avec un...
And there were some transient overload DDoS attempts as well. As far as we know, quite some inconvenience. If cyber war was clear and present danger, why is almost nothing going on right now? Now of all times, you know? To be killed by a coconut is more than 1 billion times more likely than to be killed by cyber war. Actually, no one has ever been killed. Russia is supposed to have the best hackers in the world, don't they? But then, why drop bombs on nuclear power plants? Surely hackers can just shut them down, like this. Or can they? Things don't really add up, don't you agree? On one hand, bad hacking is reality, of course. And so is online sabotage. And yes, we need appropriate names for such new phenomena. Why not call it warfare? But on the other hand, could we be overestimating the capabilities of online sabotage? Might we even be guilty of trivializing real war? Compare it to that war that's on TV right now. War that really kills people, you know, not just electricity. That's what we want to talk about today. Hi, I hope you're well. My name is Christoph and this is my analysis. Information and telecommunication infrastructure as a battlefield, so-called cyber war. This concept has plagued me for a long time. I asked my fellow computer scientists, should we really buy into a strange concept like this? War without war? Yes, Christoph, they said, we get that. You're a nice guy, but look, something like Stuxnet, that's an attack on Iran. That is like war. Sorry, Christoph. You simply have to accept that as reality. Do I? And what the heck is Stuxnet? Infamous Stuxnet worm was a kind of computer virus. It jumped from one computer to another on its own. At first, experts thought it was harmless. Also, it spread widely. It didn't seem to work, except on very special Siemens systems. It seemed to be a failure. But then, at some point, it was discovered the target has been Iran's nuclear enrichment plants. These uranium centrifuges, they happen to be controlled by Siemens technology. Over the years, about 20% of them had failed. The failure was sporadic, so the mechanical parts were insuspect, not the software. That's a complicated attack. How would you carry out something like this? I asked a well-informed colleague whom I know. He explained it to me. The Iranian plant was apparently recreated by the attackers. They needed a specific model to figure out how to spread the worm to its one target and not bother anyone else. This very clandestine operation might have cost up to $50 million. The US and Israel are still denying their handiwork. But it really worked. Iran's nuclear program has been delayed, for a while at least. But one thing's for sure, the Iranians were really pissed off. That's all that happened, I asked. Yeah, that's about it. The most important effect of Stuxnet? It spooked everybody. Power plants, water supplies, critical infrastructure, they all upgraded. Security measures everywhere. Cybersecurity, defense centers, firewalls, you know the deal. Are these defense systems sufficient? No one knows that better than the suppliers, the security consultants. They have good business now. They will tell you their protective measures are worth their money. Just consider how time-consuming and unreliable the Stuxnet attack was. Unfortunately, if there is a real war going on, a conventional bomb is much more reliable and faster. Just watch what's happening in the Ukraine right now. So, is hacking really an effective sabotage technique? Unfortunately, hacking seems to be the weakest of all sabotage methods. And it seems not to work well, especially in wartime. But that actually would be a good thing. Many lives could be saved. Obviously, states rely on online sabotage most exactly when they don't want to go to war. The same can be said for NotPetya, crippling Ukraine's economy in 2017 instead of going to war at that time. But that is for another video about the future of online sabotage, if there's any. Stuxnet, NotPetya and others show two things. First, hacking is usually far too time-consuming and unreliable for wartime use. If war is already on, from a military perspective, bombs do the job much more reliable and faster, disregarding innocent lives. Second, online sabotage usually makes sense only if you can not use weapons. I mean, real weapons, so actually in peacetime. To spell it out, cyber war is at best a tool only if there is no war. Howard Smith, former cybersecurity coordinator for the Obama administration, said, "There is no cyber war." I think that's a terrible metaphor, and I think that's a terrible concept. If that is true, who benefits from this propaganda? Book deals? Military contracts? I don't know. But that's a question for another time. Cyber war is the wet dream of warlords. Let's not get manipulated by them. They may be guilty of trivializing real war. We don't fall for that. The internet has become a civilian technology for peaceful cooperation. That is what good people should focus on. What do you think? Leave me a comment.